G'day everyone, it's me, the Anti-Theocrat. Now, I was actually going to take off today and not record at all. I was going to get some work done around the place. And this will be my second one for the day. But this is just a quick one. It's a follow-up from an earlier one I did about an article claiming that female leaders were showing the world how to deal with the coronavirus. And this article has just come to my attention. So I thought it was worth covering because the country we're about to cover is the only country in the world with a government which openly proclaims itself to be feminist. Yes, I did mention them in the last video and asked why they were not on the list, and this might tell us something about why. From Business Insider Australia, Sweden has nearly 10 times the number of COVID-19 related deaths than its Nordic neighbours. Here's where it went wrong. Sweden, which has yet to order any lockdown amid the novel virus pandemic, has seen 14,777 COVID-19 cases so far and 1,580 deaths from the virus. The virus has been nearly 10 times more deadly in Sweden than other Nordic countries. Norway, which has half as many people, has seen, well, it's not quite half as, oh yeah, righto, 7,127 cases with just 181 deaths. And Finland, which has a population similar to Norway's, has seen 3,868 COVID-19 cases with 94 deaths. Charts released by Pantheon Macroeconomics show that Sweden's cases have yet to plateau, while Norway's case count appears to be on the downslide. And yeah, the last point there is just a plug for Business Insider. Sweden's controversial... Oh, by the way, I make a good donut these days, I tell you. Sweden's controversial coronavirus strategy has led to nearly 10 times the number of deaths of other Nordic countries, and it serves as a counter-argument to US citizens who are calling for the country to reopen. I agree, it's too early. Give it another couple of weeks, at least a month probably, before you even give it consideration. And I think the US government are in their way, even though there's a bit of politicking going on. I think they're taking their time getting to it. Sweden has yet to order any lockdowns amid the novel coronavirus pandemic, according to AFP. The country has left schools, restaurants and gyms open, while the government banned gatherings of over 50 people and urged residents to self-isolate. Life appears to be mostly unchanged. Sweden's lack of strict lockdowns is in contrast to the rest of Europe, and it is yet to see a turn down in the COVID-19 cases. The country, which has a population of 10.23 million, I should say that properly, shouldn't I, has seen 14,770 cases so far and 1,580 deaths from the virus. Sweden's Nordic neighbours, Norway and Finland, approach the virus differently, and it could be seen why they're facing just a fraction of the COVID-19 related deaths. Norway went into lockdown in mid-March, closing schools, restaurants, cultural events, gyms and tourist attractions. It also banned outside travellers. And Finland, which has been stockpiling medical supplies since the Cold War. There's a problem with stockpiling, but to a certain degree you can get away with it. Restricted border traffic, banned gatherings of 10 or more people, and closed schools as part of its coronavirus guidelines. Norway, which is only 5,368 people, has seen 7,127 cases and just 181 deaths. Finland, with a population of 5.5 million, has seen 3,868 cases and 94 deaths. Angus Tengel of State Epidemiology, who created Sweden's relaxed coronavirus response plan, told local media that the country's fatality rates showed the spread of the virus starting to plateau, according to Bloomberg. Charts released by Pantheon Macroeconomics, however, contradict Tegnell, Swedish names. Sweden's COVID-19 cases appear to still be rising, and Norway appears to be already on the downslide. I'm sure we just covered all that, but that's all right. We went a bit deeper, did we? Bo Lumbrak, professor of epidemiology, bloody hell mouth, at the University of Gothenburg, told Agence Française Presse that a change needed to happen. The authorities and the government stupidly did not believe the epidemic would reach Sweden at all, he said. About 2,300 academics signed an open letter last month calling for Sweden to reconsider its approach to the virus, according to Fox News. Celia Whatsit, a professor at the Whatsit Institute, also signed the letter. Told Fox News, "We must establish control over the situation. We cannot head into a situation where we get complete chaos. No one has tried this route, so why should we test it first in Sweden without informed consent?" Sweden so far has been refraining from travel. According to Swedes. Oh, I get it. God. Swedes so far have been refraining from travel, according to Bloomberg. I just realised what I've done wrong. I'm not wearing my bloody glasses. Getting old, you know. Eyeballs don't work. They used to be 20/20. According to Bloomberg, the foreign minister Ann Lind said in an interview that with Radio Sweden that its rules affect the whole society, according to Bloomberg. While Sweden has had more COVID-19 deaths than Finland or Norway, HSBC Global research economist James Pomeroy told Bloomberg that Sweden's COVID-19 strategy might help its economy bounce back more quickly than it would in other countries because businesses were able to remain open. While Sweden's unwillingness to lock down the country would ultimately prove to be ill-judged for now, if the infection curve flattens out soon, the economy could be better placed to rebound, he said. I'm inclined to question whether or not their economy will rebound better than others. I think some of us have taken such a hard dive that we've got no choice but to rebound, and we're going to rebound fast and hard when we do. I think everyone's going to want to open their businesses, and they're going to want to do it fast. They'll have a backlog of debt, stock, and who knows what else to get out the door. So yeah, I don't know about the economic bounce back. I think if you're, I don't know. All I can say is I covered this because there was an earlier article I had covered saying women were running the show much better. And it strangely included Norway, but did not include Sweden. And I just had to cover this, but I don't really have any commentary about Sweden's approach over other people's approaches. I think we're all finding our footing. A friend of mine commented that at this point Sweden might as well just let the bloody thing go and go for whole herd immunity, let everyone get it and see how many drop dead. That I had an argument with my wife this morning who didn't quite understand what herd immunity is. She's Chinese, she gets Chinese news, has a Chinese education. Some things just do not translate well. China doesn't teach some things. Map reading, she can't read a map, she's getting there. But yeah, I had this discussion about herd immunity, that herd immunity is not about people dropping dead, it's about trying to make people survive, because dead people don't protect other people from the disease. You put up a barrier between the infected and the non-infected of people who can't be infected. Now, COVID-19 has shown that it can have a reinfection rate but then so does measles and a whole lot of other things that we say only happen once. You can get them more than once if you're just that person. But at the same time, herd immunity does work. It's why we vaccinate, and on the whole, it does have an effect. Is that the route you really want to go down, though, if you have to? I pointed out that I would prefer not to have that with my wife this morning because it means a hell of a tax on your health infrastructure and other things as this gets worse and more people get it. You are just simply better off to try and avoid this thing altogether. It is not part of our biological sphere. Let's get it back where it came from. Let's lock China down if we have to keep this thing from ever happening again. Because if they're not going to shut down their wet markets, they're not going to... apparently they're all reopening, by the way. If they're not going to change their habits where SARS and COVID-19 end up in the population and threaten the world, then, I don't know, maybe we have to be a bit tougher on them. And I know China says, but culture and crap, and I don't care. I don't care. Look, the biggest population of people in China are my wife's people, the Han, and the Han don't traditionally have they don't have the tradition of eating live dogs and live bats and shit. This is just crazy shit. This is Chinese medicine crap. You have to be something special in the head to want to do this. So, yeah. What can I say? What can I say? I just wanted to bring this to everyone's attention because I did mention Sweden in the other video. I did question why Sweden was not mentioned in that article, and now maybe we've got some idea why. Because things are not going terrifically in Sweden at the moment. That's it. I've done. I don't care that this is short. I've been the anti-theocrats. May your gods remain fictional, and I will see you in the next one.